hold up pretty well. Good morning. Welcome back to the studio. I'm so excited you're here. For the next few days, we have some set projects and kind of filming this vlog between two other vlogs. So we have our paper clay drying over there. It takes a few days to dry for our cobblestone path and a couple of tree stumps. So we'll come back to that in a few more days, but today we are working on a new episode and we need some new sets for this for Blackberry's lullaby forest. So gonna make a little mini tent for him and some camping gear, and then we'll do some cottage themed sconces for Mrs. Owl's classroom. So really looking forward to that. And this morning we just made some strawberry bread. It's very delicious. I've never had strawberry bread before. It's very soft and has a good flavor. So I'm enjoying that this morning. And then we're going to go to the woods this morning to scout out a few options to film Blackberry's lullaby forest. So let's finish up breakfast and then get started. So this is the first setting that I thought could be nice for the lullaby forest. We're looking for a calm space to tell stories and sing some calming songs. So I think this could be really nice. Kind of feels like the trees are giving you a nice little hug, and these trees are very beautiful. I just love the bark on them. These are Eastern arborvitaes and they're pretty tall. Got a nice, lush, feathery green foliage, so I think we could kind of get some more of that in the frame, and then could even be nice to hang some string lights among these trees. I think that could be cool. So it's definitely a good option, but let's go see if we find something else as well. At the second setting, and I think this could be a really good option as well for the lullaby forest. Got a table here, which is really nice, and the trees back there have this ivy climbing up, which is really beautiful. I want to go check them out because I'm wondering if I might be able to hang some little lanterns here and there. So decisions. So we're back from the woods, and it was wonderful out there today, just really nice exploring. So I think we'll go with the second place that we saw for our set. I think that'll be really nice. And I wanted to show you what we'll be making for our set. So we'll make a little tent for Blackberry Bear with this cardboard here and this very cute fabric. It has some woodland insects. We'll cut some little squares with some of our other colors here too to make a little quilt to cover our tent. And then we have this deeper blue fabric that I think we'll use to make a little sleeping bag for Blackberry Bear too. So we'll start on some dinner and then work on this tonight. So between last night and today, we finished our little camp setup. So I'm really excited. We have our tent and a sleeping bag for Blackberry Bear and a little bonfire. This is where we will tell stories, sing lullabies, and make s'mores. So for our tent, we used some cardboard and covered with our quilt. We made some support beams with a cardboard tube and some burlap. We scrunched up this lace ribbon and add some little bows, which I think gives it a really sweet little cottagey touch. Then with a support beam going across the top, I think it's very cute. And then we have our sleeping bag, which I really liked the pattern for this. I'll show you where I found it. And then our little bonfire here, which I'm hoping will hold up pretty well with the hot glue. So I think it looks pretty cool. And so yeah, I've been reading a book by Joseph Saracey. It's called How to Tell Stories to Children. I'm really enjoying it. He talks about improvising stories as you're telling them, and how that time spent is really about the time spent together and connection, and how the children really want to hear about you. They want you to share with them. So I think it's nice how our set here is like handmade and kind of eclectic. I think that fits our storytelling setting pretty well. So yeah, and I want to stop at the store, get a new lighter so we can see what our bonfire will look like. And then I think we'll stop at the woods and get everything set up. And I might try to see if we can hang some of these lanterns. it's raining. So we've had some adventures today. Went to the waterfall this morning and was hoping to do some script writing there for a new kids episode. And it started to pour. It was very beautiful with the rain and the waterfall. So tried to set up under a tree, but it was still getting kind of wet. So decided to pack up and try to run back to the car. And I lost my way there, so I was walking up and down the trails for probably about an hour and just getting soaked, but got back to the car and the camera was pretty dry, so our case came through to us. It's such a relief. So I just got back and made some cookies, and I tried for the first time this little trick about sprinkling some extra chocolate chips and a little bit of salt when the cookies are fresh out of the oven, and it just melts in. Really liked it. So then I wanted to make this little craft recipe that goes along with a recent episode from our kids show. This goes with episode 1 of our Love is Patient series, and we have a Bible lesson there from John 13 about Jesus washing his disciples' feet. And so our little craft here is a cookie guy, and his feet are dirty, so we can wash his feet. And I'll show you where I found it. And we just cut out our cookie. This would be much easier with sugar cookies or gingerbread, but I really wanted the chocolate chips, so I went with that. Cut them out before baking and right after. Put them in the freezer for just a bit, and then we melted some chocolate to dip his feet to make them look dirty, and then mixed up some ice cream with a little bit of blue food coloring, and now we can wash his feet. So I think that's a really nice way of reviewing our lesson. I think this would be really hands-on and visual for the kids, so I think that's really nice. It would work well with vanilla pudding or even frosting, and we could also just leave it white without the blue food coloring. That could be a bit less messy. So, and then just did a bit more script writing for the new episode, and I'm really looking forward to this little bit of dialogue with our squirrel friends. They're kind of learning to be patient, working together. So yeah, now we're just going to make our sconces for Mrs. Owl's Cottage Classroom. So I'll make up those.